Hey everyone, it's Deborah Morgan back again with another episode of the School Snack Series here in the Kids Health Revolution Kitchen, headquarters, of course, of your revolution in taking your kids' health back. I'm just gonna fix the camera over here really quick and then I'll be right back. Let's see here, these guys just seem to be a little out of the picture. There we go, that's probably a bit better. So everybody can see, I've got two cameras going here, as always. So we've got the private group going on over here, hi guys, and regular Kids Health Revolution Facebook world over here. It's nice to see everybody. We are tuning in today with a really good recipe. I'm excited to share this one with you. I got creative in the kitchen because I found this beautiful rhubarb. Rhubarb's in season at the moment. My rhubarb's not quite ready to be harvested at this point, but I found some at Blush Lane Organics. So I bought it and decided to make up some sort of tasty recipe, and I'm so happy with the results. And so are the kiddos, let me tell you. My son has a few friends over at the moment, and I made 12 muffins, and I think I might have 4 left, plus the couple that I set aside for a picture. So they went fast. So this is a really great recipe, and rhubarb is such a beautiful vegetable. It's actually a vegetable. I know we think about it as a fruit because we tend to use it in sweet preparations more than anything, but it is actually a vegetable. And look at that beautiful color, right? We're always talking about color here on the show. Beautiful dark color means that we're getting all kinds of nice antioxidant nutrients, phytonutrients, that we don't get from foods that don't have this kind of color. So this recipe is full of all kinds of phytonutrients, lots of antioxidants, fiber, all kinds of good stuff, and they taste really, really good, which is important, right? Especially when we're trying to get them into our kids. So let's talk about rhubarb for a second. Rhubarb is super high in fiber. Now, what did I do with my knife, you guys? There it is. I just want to cut into this so you can see the fiber in the rhubarb. It is also a really great source of vitamin C. So vitamin C is really great in terms of antioxidant as well as anti-inflammatory qualities. It's also high in vitamin A, really great source of calcium and also potassium. So I don't know if you can see there in Facebook world. I really didn't get these cameras set up very well, but you can see all the striations in there, and that's all the fiber. So this is a really great source of fiber for your kiddos and for your family. And I have discovered that though this is quite tart, if you get a young piece of rhubarb, so if you let it mature for too long, it's gonna get really sour and quite tough. But if it's fairly young, it tastes quite nice, just really thinly sliced. And I like it just put into a salad, just like this. Nice addition. It gives a little bit of tartness. If you mix it into a salad, especially if you put something a little bit sweet into the salad as well. So if you put some pears or some apple in the salad, and then the nice tart, super juicy and crunchy rhubarb, it tastes really good, and you're getting all those great nutrients from it. It is also apparently true that rhubarb is a good laxative. So if you have a kiddo that has issues with constipation, getting some rhubarb into their diet might just do the trick. So we are going to talk about this recipe for the muffins today because it's sort of a couple of steps to it, and it's going to take too long to do on the video here with you guys. So I'm just going to talk about it, and then I've got all the instructions laid out in the recipe for you. Hi, Leanne. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're watching. So if you want to get a copy of this recipe, because we're not going to go through the recipe in the video, if you want a copy of the recipe that you can download, super easy to do, 2 ways. If you want it right into your email inbox each week, join the free community on the Kids Health Revolution website. So that's kidshealthrevolution.com. And I will email out every week the recipe that we work on. Or you can pop over and join the private community on the Facebook. So it's a private group that we have on Facebook, and it's a great great way to get lots of support and lots of feedback from other parents, and you get the recipes too. My doorbell just sounded, and I think that's the gal coming to pick up her kids. So give me 1 sec, I'll be right back. I tried to call you. I'm doing a live video. Just hang on. Come in. They're good though. They're good till 6 if you want to go home and relax.
I just don't have anybody to come and get them.
Oh no, Danielle can't come and get them?
No, I don't
No.
think so. I can call him from here. Can I
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the boys are downstairs.
But I should wait until they're done, right?
No, you can come in and grab the phone and call them from downstairs. The phone's just there. Sorry, guys. This is life as a mom, right? Things happen and we have to work with it on the fly. So, we're talking anti-inflammatory rhubarb muffins. And we were just talking about the fact that we're not going to be making the entire recipe here today, but I'm just going to walk through some of the things that are in it and mention a few things of note and the different nutrients and things that it has in it. And you can get your copy of the recipe to make up your own batch by going to kidshealthrevolution.com or joining the private group, and that way you can just get it from the files section. So these have got rhubarb, which we talked about already, and they've also got nice dark cherries. So dark cherries, again, look at that beautiful dark color, all those phytonutrients in there, very anti-inflammatory, and adds a nice sweet flavor to the rhubarb to help balance out the tartness of the rhubarb. So we've got dark cherries in there, lots of antioxidant power going on right there, vitamins, minerals, and then we're going to throw in some more fiber. We've got white chia seeds. You could use black chia seeds. Yes, you could. I like the white just for the color in this one, but if you don't have white, use the black. It's totally fine. So we've got good fiber from this, and we've also got some good omega fatty acids going into it from that. We're also using coconut oil in the recipe, more good healthy fats. You could use ghee, that would be a wonderful addition to it. I just haven't made any in a while, and ghee would give you more of the butyric acid. There is some vanilla called for in my muffin recipe, vanilla extract, because that powder is just exorbitantly expensive right now and I can't do it. But this is a good quality extract, and you know, we're just using a teaspoon for 12 muffins, so not so bad. But if you're doing a strict GAPS protocol, you can't use the extract, so just leave it out. You won't miss it that much. Okay, now in terms of our muffin batter, I am using plantains in this recipe, and plantains are a wonderful thing to bake with when you're not using gluten, and they're really great too when you're not using eggs. So in our house right now, we're doing more of a low histamine diet, and we're avoiding eggs at the moment as well. So these are really great to cook with for that reason. Now, a lot of the people in my private group are GAPsters. So you're doing the GAPS diet and you can't use these. So in the recipe that I've written out for everybody in the downloadable copy, what I've done is included a link for you to follow with just a basic GAPS style muffin. So you'll just make the muffin batter with that and then go back to the recipe for the compote for the rhubarb and follow it through. So we've got good fiber from these beautiful plantains, pre-biotic fiber, so we're feeding our good gut bugs. And then we've got coconut flour in there as well, more good fiber, and just a little bit of arrowroot powder. Now I do like to use a little bit of this just for the texture, but it is optional. I've put optional in the places where it is on the recipe. You could just add more coconut flour. And this one also has some baking soda, and you want to be sure that you're getting baking soda and not baking powder, because baking powder has cornstarch in it, which is not gut healthy. So baking soda, and if you get a brand at one of your health food stores, you want to look for it to say on the package non-aluminum. Okay, that's really important when we're trying to work on healing our kids. So those are the basic ingredients that are going into this, as well as some ginger. We're packing in some more anti-inflammatory with a good chunk, about a 2-inch piece of ginger is going into this, grated ginger. So all kinds of good stuff going into the recipe. What you're gonna do is simply make a compote with your rhubarb and your cherries and a bit of honey. So I did add a little bit of honey into this recipe, and That is completely optional. You can keep the honey in, you can put as much in as you want, or as little as you want. The ones that I made are and put onto the recipe are a little on the sweeter side. I always do that in case we have kiddos that are just transitioning, they're not used to the whole foods life yet, and they're gonna want something a little bit sweeter. And as you get used to it, you can start to cut back on the sweetness. Now, I found these a little too sweet. My kiddos didn't, they liked them. So, you know, you decide, you find your sweet spot, your perfect sweet spot with the honey. So you're gonna mix up the cherries and the rhubarb and the ginger, coconut oil, and a little bit of honey and make a compote. And I like to blitz it, just pulse it quickly in the blender just to break it down a little bit, because I do find sometimes when you put big chunks of rhubarb into recipes, it can be a bit stringy, and that can be off-putting for some kids who are a little bit picky. So blitzing it a little bit and pureeing it up a little bit gives it a better texture. So optional, you don't have to do that part if you don't want to. And then you're gonna make your batter, and then you're gonna just simply fold your compote into your batter, which is gonna give a nice flavor to it. And then what I do is I put them into their muffin tins, and I just spread a little bit of the leftover compote onto the top of them, and then it dehydrates as it sits in the oven and just sweetens up even more. So those are the little beautiful little tarts, or sorry, not tarts, muffins when they come out. And I'll just show you, I had a little bit of the leftover compote, so I'm just gonna show you what that looks like. And it was super yummy. Like, I'm seriously eating this by the spoonful. I really like it, just like this. Would make really great tarts. You could use it as jam, all kinds of good stuff. So that's it, you guys, super quick. I'm sorry I'm not making it for you today, but like I said, it's, you know, there's a few steps involved, and instead of you sitting here and watching me the whole time, I'm just gonna talk to you about the nutrient value, and you can get the recipe at kidshealthrevolution.com or on our private Facebook group. Try it out and let me know how it goes. I love that we have a couple people posting their pictures on our Facebook group of what they create. It's wonderful. And yeah, so have fun with it. And you know, I was gonna mention, there's a few other things you could add to this if you wanted to. You could bump up the protein by putting in some hemp seeds. You could put bee pollen in there, all kinds of different things. So make it your own. This is the base. It's a dense, moist, beautiful little muffin. I really like it, and I hope you do too. So tune in next week for another episode of the School Snack Series. Bye guys. Oh yeah, questions and comments below if you have them. Bye.